Welcome to Further Yoga. This video is to take away the mystery of the chaturanga. If you've ever heard that in class, and especially if you're a teacher, sometimes when we say the word chaturanga, it's just like all hell breaks loose in the room. Like bodies start dropping everywhere, and there's like this swoop-de-swoop action that goes on, and there's like spines getting contorted, and my heart is like every single time. So this is my boyfriend, my assistant, Paul, we're gonna show you different ways to modify your flow so that you know what to do when the teacher says chaturanga, because you don't have to do chaturanga, and you don't have to do one kind of yoga practice, and you don't have to try and make yourself look like the person next to you that's, flopping up and down everywhere. So we're going to teach you how to do it step by step. So we'll start by standing up, and we'll switch back and forth on the mats. So the first thing is mountain pose. So mountain pose is you want your feet about hip width apart, and different styles of yoga tell you to do this differently. You choose your thing, but I want you to start to push down into your feet, integrate your feet into this pose. So all four corners of your feet, the ball joint of your big toe, the ball joint of your little toe, both sides of your heel, root straight down, and then lift your toes up and feel how the arch of your foot activates. That's what you want. So when your toes are lifted, that arch is activated, and then you just gently set the toes down, but you keep the activation through the center of the foot. Then the tailbone is dropped, the pit of your belly is pulled in, and you have really soft knees here. You don't want to lock anything out because you don't want to injure yourself, and Paul has really tight hamstrings, so he really has to keep his knees bent, and I do too because I think it feels good. So shoulder blades pull together just a little bit, open chest, but relax the shoulders down. And then we're just going to reach up and take a breath in. Reach up and take a breath in. Forward fold, exhale. Half lift to a flat back. So for half lift, my fingers stay on the floor, and Paul brings his up to his shins, because you want, wherever you're at, you want that nice straight line, so he can even open his shoulders more. From tailbone through the crown of your head. That's the line, that's what we're trying to do. It's that line that we're keeping tabs on through the whole flow. So half lift, forward fold again, and drop your head. Half lift, breathe in, flat back. Now, we're going to come into the ever mysterious high plank. So, let's just get there. So, high plank is your push-up position. And it's just like you're standing. So, see, here we go. Let's use Paul. So, drop your knees, babe. So, if your knees are dropped, okay, come back into your high plank. His feet are flexed, and he's pushing his weight, like push into my hands. See how when he pushes into my hands, his center body lifts up just a little bit. So this is the high plank. It's this slide, right? So now drop your hips back down where they were. So what people tend to do, go back to high plank, babe, is they'll like do the wrong thing. Pull this down. Now put your feet up. I don't know if you can do the wrong thing. Like the hips will be sunk down, and that's not okay. You flex the feet, push them towards the back of the room, and you lift all of this up, right? And then the shoulder blades come together just a little bit. Open up the chest. I'll just rub your neck because I love you. But you want to look out just in front of your mat just a little bit. So you have this nice straight line, and everything is integrated here. Tailbone dropped, lower belly pulled in. Now, here's your choice. You can have knees up like this, or knees down. I want you to just drop your knees, Paul. Nothing else moves. Okay, do you see when he drops his knees, the rest of his body is still in high plank. He doesn't square up to tabletop. So this would be tabletop. He's still in high plank. So tops of your feet down. Okay, so this is plank with your with the knees up, and then just drop your knees. This is plank with the knees down. Now, he's going to, this is a modification, right? So either way, it's the same thing, and you choose your way. So then what Paul's gonna do is show us lower down all the way to your belly. So this is his high plank with knees down. Now, squeeze, as you lower down, squeeze the upper arm bones into your body and lower down. Okay, so bring your bum down there and scoot the legs back. All right, so what we're gonna do, push back to child's pose really quick. Okay, because that'll feel good for him. He didn't know he was gonna be in high plank this much. Okay, so come back. I'll show you really quick, Paul, you can rest for just a second. You can rest for just a second, like that. Okay, so high plank, and then you drop the knees, but you don't square up to tabletop. All you're doing is you're still in that high plank. Everything is still in alignment. You're just dropping the knees. Now, when you lower down to low plank, if you can tell, like there's this slight shift that your shoulders are up over your fingertips just a little bit. That's because you're in high plank and you're not back here in tabletop, right? So there's this tiny little shift that happens before you lower down. Little shift, and then you lower down. So what that looks like on your knees is this would be your modified high plank. Tiniest shift. Now you lower down to your belly, but you let your hips come to meet the mat first. Your face will never come down to the mat. So you lower, 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 hips meet the mat, and then you pull up into cobra. So your face never comes down to the mat. You're never like this. I'll show you that one more time. Then you're ready. Okay. Okay. So high plank with the knees dropped. This is your modification. Tiny shift forward. Upper arm bones are hugging into the body, and you lower down slowly. Hips meet the earth. Top of the feet are pressing into the floor. Elbows are hugged into the body. Lift the chest. Cobra. All right. You got that? Come get on this one. He's like, whatever, I've done this a million times. Okay. So, high plank. And then we'll just show. So, up on your toes, babe. Flex your feet. Okay, so now just drop the knees. So now Paul's in a modified high plank, right? And then he's gonna lower down. So make that tiny shift forward. And then lower down, let your hips meet the earth. Now push up into cobra. There you go. Yeah, that's it. That was awesome. Come back down. All right. I'll show him the other way. You can change mats with me. So Paul's going to do that as we do the flow. And then I'll show you option 2. And there are more options, but right now we're just going to show you these 2. So mine would be forward fold, half lift, high plank. So the other way, so chaturanga is the action of high plank into low plank. I'm going to separate it into 2 moves for right now. To lower into low plank, upper arm bones are hugging into the body. Lower body is integrated, so tailbone is dropped, pit of your belly is pulling in. You make that slight shift forward onto the toes, and then you lower down halfway. You stop halfway, flip the tops of the feet over, and pull your chest forward to up dog. So up dog, if you'll notice, the only thing on the mat is the tops of my feet and my hands. Then for down dog, you pull from the pit of the belly to shift back. So those are our two options, and we'll do them simultaneously so that you can see what that would look like in a yoga class. And the first time I'll do it with you, I'll drop my knees and do it modified the first time through, and then we'll go through again, and you can do the modified, and I'll do it just just plain. Okay. So mountain pose, everything's integrated, tailbones dropped, pit of your belly's pulled in, you're lifting up on the pelvic floor, feet are rooted into the mat, that arch is activated, shoulder blades together just a little bit. Take a big breath, let it out. Good, reach up and breathe in, mountain. Forward fold, breathe out. Half lift to a flat back. High plank. So our knees are down, so we're in our modified high plank. Big breath in. Low plank, chin never comes to the earth. Hips meet the earth, legs slide back. Cobra, lift the chest. Down dog, pull from the pit of your belly. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more. Exhale. Walk to the front of the mat. Half lift, breathe in. Fold, exhale. Let's do that one again. Reach up, big breath. Scoop the abs in, fold, send the air out. Halfway up, flat back. High plank with modified knees down. Big breath in. Lower all the way down. Hips meet the earth. Then you lift the chest. Now they get to down dog. Shift the bum all the way back to the heels like you're going to child's pose. Shift the bum all the way back. Flip the toes. Lift the bum. Big breath in. Big breath out. Push the mat away from you. Good, babe. Send all the way into the legs here. One more breath. Exhale. Breathe in. Walk to the front of the mat. Pull from the navel. Move slowly. Half lift when you get there. Fold. Mountain. Reach up. So I'm going to do the other version. Fold. Exhale. Half lift. Lower belly in. High plank. So my knees are up. Paws are down. Big breath in. Lower down. So his nose never comes to the mat. Hips meet. Up dog or cobra. Down dog. Big breath in. Open your mouth. Tummy's pulled in. Walk to the front of the mat. Slow and steady. Half lift. Flat back. Fold. Mountain. Reach up. Breathe in. We'll do one more. Fold. Half lift. High plank. Big breath in. Lower down. Up dog or cobra. Pull your chest forward. Down dog. Big breath in. Open your mouth. Walk to the top of the mat. Half lift. Fold. Mountain. Reach up. Scoop the belly. Tuck the tailbone. Hands heart center. 3 breaths. So that is chaturanga. The only thing that will differ is the teacher may just say the word chaturanga, in which case all that means is high plank to low plank. And I'll show you. You can sit, babe, and I'll show them both through really quick. And we'll be done. So reach up and breathe in. Fold. Half lift. So there's no rush ever in yoga. And if you feel rushed, don't go back to that class. You can never be rushed because it's your practice. You move at your own pace with your own breath. So high plank. So I'll do modified. So I'll have to say chaturanga. I'm not used to it. I teach it. So half lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. So when the teacher says chaturanga in your head, you move high plank, low plank. That's what it is. It's just a continuous high plank, low plank. So modified, that will be reach up, fold, halfway up, belly in, chaturanga. And that's it. You just do your practice. And it's just, if you get into a chaturanga class where you keep hearing that word over and over again, there's no momentum in yoga. So there's no flopping to the mat, swooping up off the mat and swinging your body back. Everything is slow and intentional, and you're building muscle and you're keeping alignment. And you're keeping the breath. So if the class is moving too fast, you slow yourself down because you're always in charge of yourself, right? So